Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this HP Spectre x360 convertible model 13-AP0053DX. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is remove the little rubber feet on the bottom. Okay, let me actually get my tools ready. Probably should have done this beforehand. Anyways. Alright, so we're going to remove the little rubber pieces here and let's see what's underneath. So I just used my fingernail. You can use whatever you want. You can use like a little pry tool or scrapey tool or whatever. Right, so here you can see there's this adhesive that's coming up. Normally you'd want the whole plastic piece. Is there a plastic piece here or no? Doesn't look like, kind of looks like there is, but at the same time I don't know if there is. So let's see, can I peel this up, or is there a separate piece here, or is it just that adhesive? Okay, it looks like there is a rubber piece or a plastic piece here, but it doesn't want to come out. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you want to get underneath this black plastic piece. Okay, it's kind of a pain. I'm using a needle to do this. All right. Come on, there we go. All right, and then you want to pull that up with the rubber. That way you don't stretch the rubber out. Okay, here you can see the black plastic piece I was talking about. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. All right, then we're gonna do the same thing with the bottom as well. Okay, I'm just using a needle. You can use whatever works for you. Okay, here you go, peel that up. Sorry, it's going out of view. And here you can see the bottom. Same thing with that black plastic adhesive. Alright, so it looks like these are PH1 JS1 screwdriver screws. So let's go ahead and get a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. Okay, and we're going to remove the screws. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. The way I do that, I put the flat side down, excuse me, on my desk. In the pattern I remove them. So you see 4 across here, and then you see 2 down here. So just put them in that pattern. All right, let's go ahead and continue removing these screws. The 2 middle ones seem to be shorter than the 2 corners, so keep that in mind. If you do happen to mix them up, that will hopefully help. All right, if this video helps you, make sure to like and subscribe and share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to work on their devices. Okay, so let's get them all. Alright, once we get all those screws out, we're going to have to remove this bottom cover. Let's see if it's going to be easy or difficult. So first thing I'm going to try is using a suction cup. Alright, so let's try with the suction cup. I'm going to just stick it on there and see. Okay, it comes out pretty easily. If you don't have a suction cup, you can also use some tape. Just stick the tape together and then make it meet towards the middle like this, so you can use that as a pull tab. Okay. So there we go. Let's go ahead and pull this off. I'm pulling this up while I run my fingernail along the side to try and pop up any clips. Okay, and then you kind of just wiggle it, and here you go. The whole cover comes off. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. So this computer, for some reason, just stopped working after they plugged in a USB-C device. Somehow that burned it out. I'm going to try draining out the battery power from this. I don't know if there's removable RAM. It looks like there's a little removable door under here, but that's so thin, I don't think the RAM is going to be removable. So we got the SSD here, but let's go ahead and disconnect the battery first. So to disconnect the battery, alright, here's the battery model number, SP04XL, but let's try and remove the battery. So just grab the wings and wiggle it. There's not much room here, so I'm actually going to take the screws for the battery out and then remove the whole battery from this thing. Alright, we might need to switch to a PH0. Yep. Alright, so you're going to have to use a PH0 or JS0 to remove the screws that are inside. I don't know why they use different screws inside than outside. It's kind of annoying. But let's go ahead and remove all of these. Okay. 1, 2, and there's a third one here underneath, going underneath the speaker connector, so you want to be careful lifting the battery out. Alright, and then we got 2 more screws down here. Use a lot of pressure, you don't want to strip the screws. Okay, just like that. So there we go. Let's go ahead and lift the battery up. Okay, just get underneath the battery. I don't know if there's any other screws holding it down. It seems like it's stuck to this speaker. Okay, there's a magnet there that's somewhat holding that. Alright, so now we can lift this slightly. I'm going to pull this connector so that while I pull the battery back a little. So here you go. Okay, and we got this battery connector out, but it is getting caught still. So okay, you do have to lift the center one up. It gets caught on this little screw hole, and then slide the whole battery this way so that you can clear underneath the cable here. Okay, there we go. There's the battery. We'll set that aside. Just to be safe, after removing the battery, you want to open the computer, all right, 90 degrees, and then press and hold the power button. Sorry, it's on this side. Press and hold the power button. 10 to 15 seconds. This will drain any power that's in the capacitors and greatly reduce the risk of damage to the computer while working on it, all right? And hold it for another 10 seconds. Okay. Alright, so now let's go see about taking the SSD out, which is underneath this part here. So let's remove this one screw. Okay, again, keep all the screws in order. So once you remove that screw, let's see how this comes out. There's a metal thing on here. That's interesting. Okay, so this metal cover needs to be pried up. So you want to kind of pull this metal cover up, and there are clips going along the top here. Let me see if I can show you this. So here you can see there's those little clips there. So we're gonna have to actually pry from this side somewhat. Let's see here, it's a little tricky. Might help to, okay, it helps to go under where you can hold the motherboard down here like this, all right? And then I just get underneath and pry up all these other edges just like this, okay? It helps, like, if you put your fingernail or finger or some pry tool underneath, and then you push the opposite direction. So if I push down, it will like be like a teeter-totter, and it will kind of lift the other side up, and there we go. So here we have this little cover for the SSD. We're gonna set that aside, and here we have the SSD, all right? So you lift it up slightly like this, and then you can kind of wiggle and pull it back. So there's the SSD. This is an Intel Optane PCIe NVMe SSD. Here you can see this is only 32 gigs. So, oh shoot, this might not even be the actual SSD storage. I'm gonna have to ask the customer, because this is only 32 gigs. So if that's the case, that means the storage is actually on the motherboard, not on that. 32 gigs is too small to be the actual hard drive. So if that's the case, that's gonna suck, because I see no other way that there's removable storage on here. Anyways, you got this connector here for the power switch. So if you want, you can flip this up and you can actually take that cable out. The power switch is replaceable as well here. All right, so if you break that, that's pretty nice. You got the fan connectors under here. They come out like the MacBook speaker connectors. So if you want to see how to remove these, you can watch my video on MacBooks. I don't want to peel everything up because I think they still have it in like a slight warranty. And if I mess up stuff, then they're not going to honor that warranty. You got the keyboard backlight connector here, keyboard connector here, trackpad connector there, fingerprint sensor here, and then you got a connector here for, it looks like the audio jack, but that's kind of a weird design. But anyways, other than that, that's pretty much all there is to this. I'm gonna have to check with the customer. It looks like both speakers are, oops, let's zoom out. Too much. It looks like both speakers are connected separately on this model with the same kind of connectors where you get underneath and then you have to go under the wire and pop up these connectors. All right. And then there's another small connector here. I'm not what this one is for. It says speaker. Okay, so that's for another speaker. So it looks like each speaker is connected separately. So I don't know. Is that, yeah, speaker, AD, that's probably audio, power. Okay, so they label everything. But anyways, that's all I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to check the SSD. I doubt this is the storage, so I'll check with the customer. I'm going to put this back in for now, and if we're lucky, maybe the computer will turn back on after doing that reset, so we'll find out. But anyways, let's go ahead and pop this back in. Okay. Get the SSD popped in all the way. Get the metal plate, line it back up. Okay, make sure you line up all the little clips on here, the ones on top as well. It has to go in between those clips. Okay, and same thing with the other side. So clip that down. There we go. Make sure everything is clicked in place. Let's put the SSD screw back. Again, I'm going to check with the customer. I doubt this is just a 32 gig storage device, so if that's the case, most likely none of the data is going to be retrievable. Let's go ahead and slide this piece back underneath. Okay. And then while you're kind of holding this up and out of the way, get the battery connector back in as well. Okay, pinch the two pieces together, just like this. Let it drop back in. Let's go ahead and put back all the screws. And you get the idea from here. Just do everything in reverse. It will clean out the dust too, but that's probably not gonna help with anything, so. Yep, I'm gonna have to let the customer know and see what they want to do. Now, what is that? That connector's pretty sharp there. Alright, let's go ahead and get all these screws back in. Alright, I'm going to clean this off because it's pretty dusty, so let me do that off to the side here. Okay, so to put this cover back on, you want to put this bottom side back in first. Again, we're doing reverse of how we took it out. Right, then you swing it back down, clip all of this back in, make sure everything is lined up and clipped into place. Okay, I mean the screws will hold most of it back together, but make sure everything looks good and lined up. Oh, this thing just popped itself back out, so I have to make sure it stays in. Make sure that the bottom clips all stay in place. It's being a little tricky here. Then put back all the screws using the PH1 or JIS1 screwdriver. Like that. Make sure everything is lined up. Alright, get the last 4 screws in. Hold it down while you tighten it in place. Make sure all these clips go back in again. These parts are a little bit tricky. They want to kind of pop up, so you have to make sure that it goes in properly. Okay, hopefully you're able to see what I did there. Alright, get all these screws back in. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to like and subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to open up and work on their devices. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Let's go ahead and put these last rubber pieces on. Just line up one edge here, and then you kind of just line it up and get the rest in. Okay. It helps to kind of do the 2 outer edges first, and then you kind of work your way towards the center, like that. So you get this side in, okay? Get that lined up. You can go ahead and get this side, get that lined up, and then you can work your way towards the center, like that. And that's all there is. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Let's drop this. Bye. So I probably should have turned it on while the or while I was still recording. But anyways, after doing the battery drain reset, as you can see, the computer turned on. It did take a while. After pushing the power button, the screen stayed black, but you gotta wait, give it a few minutes, and then there's a chance that it might turn back on. So most likely it cut power to the board to prevent damage. I think it detected a short. And then what happens after you remove the battery acts as the BIOS or CMOS real-time clock battery, and it will tell you that the BIOS has been reset and all these things. So this isn't the correct time. It's actually 3 o'clock right now, and it's July 28th, so this thing is all wrong. But anyways, yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys. Again, if yours had the issue where it wasn't turning on, like the orange light here was just blinking, nothing was happening, try disconnecting your battery and pressing and holding the power button first, and that might actually fix your computer. Alright, so again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.